Before I get into the music stuff, have any of y'all seen the Book of Clarence? So that is the Jay-Z produced movie, dropped a few months ago. Has anybody seen it? Let me know in the chat if you've seen that movie. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not surprised. Because the rollout of the movie didn't do the actual movie any favors. Because essentially the rollout was Jay-Z makes a religious movie. And, you know, depending on who you ask, that was enough to not watch it. Folks was like, oh, absolutely not. No. So when I saw the trailer, I was like, nah, I'm good. So I just decided to be quiet, and I just decided not to watch any interviews. And you know, that experience, what typically happens in those spaces is that people make Jesus out to be, whatever they want him to be other than who he is. Right. And, I don't really have space for that. You know what I'm saying? Even like, especially like coming out of deconstruction, like I'm just not going to do that. If it's not healthy, I'm not going to rock with it. And, so I decided to chill, but then I started seeing the Christian content surrounding the movie. I'm about to play a clip. I want y'all to stop doing this. We have to stop doing this. We have to stop doing this. We have to. Hold on.
Jay-Z just promoted a movie called The Book of Clarence, which is an abomination toward Jesus Christ, an abomination towards the Bible. It's actually a mockery, but let's go ahead and watch this.
Clarence, it's him. Jesus of Nazareth.
He sees Jesus.
You can't even buy power like that.
Buying power. Simon the
I want to
Sorcerer.
be like that in 10 years.
He wants to be like Jesus. Because of his power, he's jealous, covetousness, witchcraft, false prophets.
I want to be like that now.
You want to be like him now.
Knowledge is stronger than belief.
Knowledge is stronger than belief. You know, man-made knowledge, the wisdom of man is stronger than having faith in God. This is ridiculous.
I have a plan. I can see.
Trying to be like Jesus, faking miracles. Pride.
God sent me to deliver his message.
He's trying to say he's the Messiah. You know, the Bible says that many will come in my name and say I'm the Messiah, and they'll mislead many. Do not
Y'all have to stop doing this. I'm going to keep going, but y'all have to stop doing this.
believe them.
Your new Messiah. Your God is a myth. If you'll be so kind to walk on water.
To walk on water. So to do everything Jesus did.
Damn.
And I believe in the movie, they're going to try to make him actually walk on water. This is so demonic. And it makes sense why Jay-Z is promoting this movie. He had a problem with God for a very, very long time. Listen to this.
Hail Mary to the city, you're a virgin, and Jesus can't save you.
All right, we not doing the, nah, you can't pull the, hold on. You can't pull the New York State of Mind line. If you're going to pull the New York State of Mind line, then you got to pull out his verse on Legacy, where he talked about why he has issues with Christianity. We never want to look at context. Never want to look at context. He saw contradictions, as everybody does, and that caused him to have that impacted his faith. He grew up in a Christian household that impacted his ability to believe in the Christian God. How many people do we know like that? But then why do Jay-Z and why do celebrities get? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to that in a second. So then, because hold on. Let me get to that. This is why I don't engage with a lot of Christian content creators. Like, I barely watch any of them. Because a lot of it is either floaty hyper emotionalism. A lot of it is like mad, like super zealous, not a whole lot of wisdom. A lot of it is super clickbaity. You know who I'm talking about. Or it's a witch hunt. I have time for the witch hunt. I'm not doing a witch hunt. Like, you have to act like this skepticism. Like, look, man, if we want to talk skepticism, like, yo, it's believing God on a day-to-day basis carries its own weight. So for me to like sit around here and like look and nitpick for things that people are doing that's supposed to confirm the Bible. See, look, he said this. He said, yeah, like, where do y'all have time for that? Number one, and then number two, is this appealing to people? It's very like Hebrew Israelite. It's very like middle of the street protesting or preaching with your robe, making white people kiss your feet and be sorry for enslaving your ancestors. Like, I'm just like, none of this points me to the loving God. Right? Like, none of it is appealing. If it's appealing for you, great. Cool. I'm not saying that it ain't. I am saying it ain't for me. I don't like that. I can't stand it. So with that said, I had a couple of friends reach out to me, say, yo, Armand, you should go see this movie. You should go see this movie. And then as I watch videos like that, I started looking in the comments, and it was like, yo, that's not what the movie's about. That's not what the movie's about. I said, I said, I'm gonna go see it. I went on Monday. I went Monday and saw it. It was like literally, it was me and like another couple and another guy in the theater. There wasn't nobody in the theater. It was very quiet. I wanted to make my own judgment. Right? I wanted to make my own judgment. And so I did. And let me tell y'all, I was pleasantly surprised. I was actually in shock a little bit. So let me tell y'all without spoiling. Let me tell y'all like what it is. It is not a reworking of what it's not. Let me tell you what it is. It's not, my bad. So it is not a reworking of a Bible story. This is not them taking something that is in the scriptures and manipulating it or retelling the story outside of the crucifixion. Spoiler alert. It is a fictional tale of a story that is set during Jesus's time on earth. That's it. It was cinematically, it was dope. It was shot really well. It did not look cheap. It did not look like a budget film. The soundtrack was dope. I know Jordan talked about that. He was talking about that Jay-Z and the D'Angelo record. It wasn't. The soundtrack was pretty good. There's one scene where they play Nights Over Egypt. Fire. It was cast well. Lakeith Stanfield in his role as Clarence, like he did a really good job. Tiana Taylor as Mary Magdalene, like she did really well. It was a tasteful depiction of Black people set during that time. It was funny. It was a tasteful depiction of Jesus and the disciples. It was not over sensationalized. It was not preachy. Because people talk about like Christians being preachy. Yo, listen, non-Christians be wild preachy, super preachy, especially post 2020 where everything's a black and white issue. It wasn't none of that. In fact, I think they stuck the landing. The part, it's about a guy who was trying to figure his life out. He need to get some money, gets himself into a situation, and he is seeing people tithe to Jesus and the disciples. He has his own issues with faith for reasons that they explain in the movie. So then he sees what they're doing. He sees the people tithing, and he's like, yo, I'm going to position myself as a Messiah, and I'm going to get this money so I can solve my issue. And in that, he has a crisis of faith, XYZ, this, that happens. He does this, blah, 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 interacts with the disciples. And then he has his own, it's a redemption story. It's not critical of the Bible. There was nothing like, I didn't watch the interviews, and I've had conversations with people who were like, yeah, they were saying that there were parts where like, where they were clearly like misinterpreting the Bible. Right. And I expect that. Like, okay, there it is. I didn't see it in the movie. I got to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. But there was nothing in the story that made me say, yeah, this is blasphemous. Nothing. I didn't see any. It was very tasteful. I was shocked. If you go into it wanting a movie that ministers to you or like validates or affirms your belief, like you might not get that. But it did minister to me. It did. It's a good watch. It's a good watch. And that's what I have to like, yo. It's a good watch. So what I want to do, I think it's coming back on streaming. I think it's going to be on streaming services like this week, I think. Not Netflix and stuff, but like Amazon and stuff. So like rent it. Spend like a little $3-4 if you got it. And just watch it. I'm going to watch it again. Very possible that I missed something blasphemous. Very possible. But I was pretty locked in. And my friends will tell you, I don't really like movies. You know what I'm saying? But I liked this movie. I did. I thought it was very tasteful. I wasn't mad at it. I want to see it again. I'm actually very excited and looking forward to watching this again. So, there we go. So I know some people here just like, yo, no. Listen, man, the Lord speaks to me in a very unique way. He ministers to me in a very unique way. So it may not work like that for you, but it absolutely did for me. And I was left encouraged. I was left encouraged to serve and worship the Jesus of the Bible. I was. That's crazy. And I know where you are. You know what I'm saying? We've had conversations. So I promise I wouldn't steer you wrong. I don't think that this is going to impact your faith in that way, especially if you're like working your way back and you're in like a sensitive place. I don't think it's going to impact. If anything, I really do like they depict like even the part. We'll wait. I'll tell y'all later. There we go. A couple scenes that are straight from the Gospel of Thomas. The dove scene. Jesus being who he is, undivided. Hey. I didn't see anything. Say, I see the people giving disciples money. So I'm going to fake miracles so I can get my own tithe, which implies Christianity was all fake to get money, but I could be overthinking. I see a lot of Christians overthinking, Stephen. It was very mega pastory. That's how it was presented. Like there's a whole, like, I don't really want to spoil it, but like once he gets into his bag, like it was literally no difference between that and like the money hungry mega pastors, the ones, the soothsayers, the ones, the itching ears that will, knowledge is more powerful than belief. Like that's not biblical, but to the right person, that sounds kinda, sort of like they could be like, yeah. And they were like faking miracles. And then people were, you know what I'm saying? Like we see that today. And you got to think about it like from a biblical, I think about this a lot. So like I'm in Nehemiah right now. And so they just rebuilt Jerusalem, right? So I think I'm in chapter like 7 or 8 or something like that. And I always think about like, yo, we hear these like really general statements about what was going on, but like I want to know details. So like there's one guy, his name was Joe, and he was married to his wife was named Mary, and they had 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And one of the boys was real quiet. One of the girls was, and the girl was, a daddy's girl. And the other boy was like super rambunctious. And like, the quiet boy really liked to build stuff in the ramp. Like I'd be making up stories in my head about people who were around during that time. Like, what was your experience like during that time? You're watching your dad leave to go build this wall go build up this city for Nehemiah. What is that like for you? When you there, and he's there all the time because they guarding the gate. What is that like? You know what I'm saying? So I try to put myself like in that situation. That's really what this was. Like, it was just a story of a guy who was around while Jesus was doing his thing, because there is a scene where he interacts with Jesus and you see the fake miracle up against the real miracle. You know what I'm saying? You actually see that a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Just go watch it. Yeah, just go watch it. Just go watch it. Yeah, just go watch it. I promise I won't steer you. If y'all can stone me, y'all can write a diss record. Like, I'm not saying you'll love it, but what I am saying is like, I enjoyed it and I didn't think it was super blasphemous or anything like that. I'll say that. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. So